I'm Briel Beaty, one of the teachers at the Center for Wellbeing Yoga program in Lemont, Pennsylvania. And today I'm going to talk you through a few options and variations to work up for handstand, which is Adho Mukha Vrikshasana. So even if you have no intentions of going all the way upside down, there are some variations for you today. So our first posture today will be our mountain pose, Tadasana into upward salute, Urdhva Hastasana. So you'll begin with your feet together, the full foot pressing into the ground and the arms stretching down. Take a second to notice how the weight is in your feet, and you want to be really even here. Many of us tend to kind of shift the hips forward, something like this in the pose, so try lifting your toes up off the ground so that the hips come in line with the ankles and shoulders. Now, something else I want you to notice about here is your outer hip, that's the gluteus minimus and medius, sort of has to hug towards the midline, and that gives you leg strength and stability. At the same time, the pubic bone lifts, so the navel moves towards your spine and your core is supported and strong. So we try to keep all of that. So I'm going to try to keep all that as I take my arms out, flex through my hands, and as I take my arms up overhead, I'm keeping all of that. Firm hips, navel towards spine, and I try now to bring a thoracic chest opening, so moving of the thoracic spine in as I push the arms away. So as if I was pushing up into something. Push down, push up, navel in, take a deep breath there, and then release. Let's go one more time. You can repeat just like that, or another option is to stand at a wall for this, which gives you just a different feedback on your alignment. So from standing, from that Tadasana position, mountain pose, arms out overhead, flex through the hands, and then extend the arms up, noticing the abdominals, noticing the spine, keeping everything in alignment, firm hips, arms stretching, and then are you breathing? That's the next thing to check here. Release the arms down. So as we go through the video, you are welcome to pause this and repeat these things a few times. I'm going to move through things a little bit quicker for purposes of trying to keep this on in our time frame. So now I'm going to get 2 blocks, and our next pose, those will just be nearby for now. Our next pose will be downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And as you're coming into this pose, make sure you place your hands slightly in front of your wrists and your knees slightly behind your hips. And I want you to think about handstand when we go into this pose today. So you're pushing down with the arms. On an exhale, lift yourself up and back and really find this thoracic opening so the chest is moving down and the arms are coming between, the head is coming between the arms. Keep the legs firm, keep the feet active. Think about the outer upper arms squeezing in and that navel supporting your spine. So practicing this pose for longer stays, we won't stay long here today, but practicing this pose for longer stays and really being aware of keeping the weight in the arms and the arms straight can really help. So now we're going to get 2 blocks. Take them at the back of your mat. They're together like this. I'm placing them at the back of my mat. You could put them on a wall, but you don't have to. And I'm coming back into a downward facing dog, but now I have my feet framing these blocks. So this is just to help us get a little bit of an inversion, a little more weight into the arms before we actually go upside down. So I'm setting up the same way I set up for downward dog, hands slightly in front of shoulders, and lift up and back. And once you get up, you step up onto those bricks. So now I'm really trying to find that hands press away, legs stretch, head is between the arms, and I'm pushing the floor away. As much as you can push the floor away here, and also draw the navel in, firm the hips, you get the strength that you'll need to practice your handstand variations. So you hold this. You want to hold it so that you feel like you're gaining strength, but not that you're losing your alignment. So when it starts to become tiring or you start to feel yourself getting worn out and losing it, then you come out. So we have one more variation on the ground and actually without any weight in the arms. And for this, you'll need 2 blocks. Again, so I have 1 block at the back of my mat and then 1 block somewhere towards the top. So the goal is that you're going to get part of your back, your thoracic spine on this brick and the heels of your feet on this brick. So you kind of have to move those blocks around till you find for you where you're supported somewhat like you see me here. So this is at the bottom of the shoulder blades and I've got the feet on the brick. And I do think the firmer bricks will work better for this. Now you could support your head in this as well if this puts any tension in your neck. But what we're going to do is take a breath in, and when you exhale, you're lifting up the hips, and now you're very much in that handstand position. Flex the feet, stretch through the arms, lift the hips high. It's definitely more work than the other positions. You can press the fingertips into the ground and stretch the arms. Hands should stay as wide as your shoulders. And when it's time to come out, you lower your hips and come back up. So let's do that one more time. So feet are on the blocks. The thoracic spine is supported. Take a breath in. And on an exhalation, press up into that handstand position. Your head stays in line with your arms if possible. You're stretching out your arms, your feet, pressing the big toes to touch and reach through the whole chain of the inner leg. So from your inner groin through your big toe, you're pressing, and you hold, breathing for as long as you can without strain, and then release. So for the next part of our video, we need a wall. So any wall will do. I'm here in a greenhouse, so it's kind of the siding of the house, and a chair. So you don't have to have a mat going up the wall like this. This is just to block something that's behind that for me. So we're going to practice walking up the wall, but one thing to do if that already feels like it's going to be a lot for you is you can practice again that block thing like we did earlier and get yourself up there, and then you're just thinking about the possibility. You put your foot on the wall and you just step and release. So I'm just getting this feeling of when I do that, can I not bring my shoulders forward? Because if you start planking, so if your arms become in this relationship to your head, there's no way you're going to do the handstand. Handstand is the arms alongside the ears, right? So when we do this for preparation and we're practicing these step-ups, just trying to get that weight and bring it down, then you could do this from the floor as well. You want to just make sure you're trying to think about lifting the hips up. So that last one wasn't as good, but this one I could feel I was doing a better job of keeping my spine moving in, the thoracic spine moving in. So if that's feeling relatively doable, then you get the chair, put the chair up against the wall. Could really be any chair, it doesn't have to be a yoga chair. And you've got to find a good distance here, so it might take a few trial and errors. You want your shoulders a little bit in front, your wrists a little bit in front of your shoulders like before. And when you press up, we're going to try to use the very edge of the chair. So you see, I'm not on this part of the chair because that makes my legs heavy, and you can see I start to plank more. But I'm trying to find a distance where I can be pressing my toes into the front edge of the chair, and then I really press my arms straight, and I'm working here, holding this as long as I feel like I'm able to build the strength. Okay, so you might do that a few more times. Or you move along. The chair goes away. And for this one, it's best to measure putting your hips at the wall and seeing where your feet are, and that's about the distance of where you should put your hands. You put the heel of your hands where your feet just were. Again, hands stay wide on your shoulder, or as wide as your shoulders. And you first press into a downward dog. So here I am pressing down, opening the chest. So if you're already in this planking position, it's not going to go well. And if your legs aren't letting you do this, you could be on the blocks, or you can bend your knees a little bit and just open your chest. Then from here, I try to walk up. I walk my feet up the wall till they're parallel. Hopefully I have that. And then you see how my low back wants to sway in. I need to try to engage my abdominals and push the floor away. So just like we were doing in standing, I'm moving my navel towards my spine, pressing the floor away, and then I breathe here. Coming down when you're ready. Okay? So if you feel confident there, I won't demonstrate this because of time, but you could practice doing a single leg lift and really trying to make sure nothing changes in your arm torso alignment. Same could be done when we did it on the blocks before. But if it's feeling good, then you can start practicing facing the wall. And the first step is just to kick, but not actually worry about if you get up or not. So I have my hands very close to the wall, but I probably give myself like an inch here or so. So there's a little bit of space, an inch or two, but it's not far. Hands are as wide as the shoulders, and I come again into this downward facing dog, and I walk in. Now my knees start to bend a little bit. And what we're going to do first is keep the arms straight. Keep the arms straight. Push the floor away and keep your shoulder blades strong. You're really holding yourself up here from not just your arm strength, but your shoulder strength. We're going to raise one leg up, bend the other leg, and you can see here I'm just practicing this part. Can I kick? And when I kick, can I keep my arms straight? If you bend your arms, that's when it gets difficult and you might go down. So you try each way. You go a few times. Excuse me. And you kick and come down. Kick and come down, right? So you start to build up the strength that way. Straight arms, straight arms, straight arms. And then if you're feeling confident, or maybe you grab a partner, someone can help you to do this, you can kick and stay up. So you walk in as far as you can, get the hips high, arms straight, chest strong, look down, and kick up. Once you're up, so you might lose your alignment a little bit at first, but once you get up, you've got to repress the floor away, press through the feet. Remember how active the legs have to be, and the outer hips have to firm in. So glutes are firm, just like we worked earlier, and you stretch up. You stretch up. When you're ready to come down, one leg, then the other, and you rest. Okay? So if you do that for a while and it starts to come a little bit easier, then perhaps you practice not just coming up, but you also come down. So I'm going to show that one time where I kick up, and you'll see I'm resisting and letting the one leg come down. So once I'm up here, I'm trying to find, it's kind of like we did the single leg lift before. Everything stays as I slowly as I can, arms stay straight, chest stays lifted. I bring this leg down and come all the way down, right? So you practice that, those oppositions. Once you get confident with the kicking up, then you can change it to a variation of piking up. So for piking up, I like having a little bit more space between the wall. Find that downward dog, walking in, take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, kick up. Stretch through the legs again. So once you get up there, you've really got to find that strength. And to come down, you try to come down the way you came, resisting on the way down. So hopefully these were some good variations for you to practice handstand. And if you have any questions, you can leave a comment, and we hope to see you again soon.